Chapter 63 Beautiful Looks, plus Singing and Playing Talent. Li Zuer nodded, pursed her lips, and said, I have. This show is really tough. We're all teenagers, we can take real jobs. So we have to find other ways to earn money to support our families. When I first started, I performed at the big square. It was hard work, but being able to interact with the uncles, aunties, brothers and sisters there, and getting their approval, that made me really happy. But later, I earned less and less money there. Lately, I can't even give my mom pocket money anymore. Such a pretty little girl barely needed to put on a deliberate misery act, just lowering her tone a little made the audience feel sorry for her. In the official live stream, uncles and elders were even yelling emotionally, Zuer, my Zuer, you poor thing. Zuer, it's okay, Uncle will take care of you. Such a good girl. Uncle's vote is already reserved for you. She's so pitiful. It tugs at my heartstrings. Liu Ping pressed the microphone and asked again, now that you understand how hard adulthood is there anything you want to say to your mom? Li Zuer bit her lip, then glanced toward the backstage. Mom, Zuer won't let you down. Let's work hard together. We'll definitely live a better life. On the big screen, Zhang Qian immediately appeared, covering her mouth and crying. Chen Yuan shook his head and sighed. Truly a seasoned actress with rich emotions. A few words, and she's already overflowing with feeling tears on command. By comparison, Chen Donglai can never pull off this emotional stuff. Good thing I didn't let him come. So what performance have you prepared for us today? Li Zuer held the microphone and said in a cute voice, of course I'll show off my signature skill. I'll sing you Shui Lion, literally Love by the Swimming Water, a Chinese song title, and it'll be a piano solo version. Oh. After speaking, she stuck out her tongue fully and winked her left eye. No need for a performance, just this little gesture was enough to make those creepy uncles lick the screen, a slang term for being infatuated with someone on screen. The on-site audience burst into warm applause. Soon several staff members rolled out a piano. It had been tuned by professionals, so its sound quality was flawless. Li Zuer bowed to the audience, then sat down in front of the piano. A microphone was extended in front of her. She gently twisted its head with her fair little hands and adjusted its height. I'd like to present you Shui Lion to everyone, she said. Then her long, fair fingers began to press the piano keys. I hold my wine and wander by the cold stream, frost filling the sky. I draw in a breath of cold air, stirring the wind. Wine spills into the river, looking up at the blue water and misty clouds. Swallows flit down to the mortal world. With a raise of my hand, wine soaks the front of my shirt. You see snowflakes falling, turning everything white at a glance. An old man with white hair carries a child down the mountain, watching celestial maidens dance joyfully. I linger drunk and carefree. Once I leave this cold stream, when will I return? I want to stand against the wind and stay a little longer. But how can I bear the cold wind striking my sore heart? Lee Zur already had a clear, bright voice, singing this song when she was good at and had practiced for a long time immediately. Created a stunning effect. The bullet comments, real-time comments online exploded. Azur is amazing. I love her so much. I'm a fan now. Zur is awesome. I'll support her forever. Chen Yuan hiding behind the curtain couldn't help but take a few more glances. When she grows up, she'll definitely become a star. The most direct impact was felt by the on-site audience. Live sound quality was far better than a live stream. A woman in her 30s nodded, repeated lie, and said to her male companion, "Great, this Lee Zur is really something." Her piano skills are already at level 6. With a little more practice, she could pass level 7. All in all, she's very talented. Her vocal tone is excellent too. She's really a promising prospect for music. Her male companion nodded, repeated lie. Definitely. After their reality show ends, maybe our company can talk to Zhang Qian and see if she's interested in debuting as a celebrity. While the two were discussing, Lee Zur had already finished her performance. In the next second, a thunderous round of applause erupted. The audience clapped vigorously, an entirely different reaction from how they responded to Wang Mantong. That was incredible. She's beautiful, has a great voice, and plays the piano so well. She's perfect. I love this girl. She earned this round of applause with real talent. As the audience clapped and praised Lee Zur, Liu Ping had already led her back to the spot where she stood earlier, holding the microphone. Liu Ping smiled and said, "Zur, I have to say your performance just now blew me away." The audience cheered loudly. "Zur, did you used to study piano professionally?" Liu Ping held the microphone up to Lee Zur's mouth. "No, I just love playing the piano and singing. My mom signed me up for cram classes when I was little," Lee Zur replied. The audience erupted into applause again. They all knew that cram classes here meant hobby classes if you really wanted to master a skill. Hobby classes alone weren't enough. Yet without professional training, Lee Zur had shown extraordinary talent and skill, far beyond what her age would suggest. That was why they clapped so enthusiastically. A child prodigy. Her future is limitless. This competition, though not yet over, was already decided. First place had to be Lee Zur. Even if Lee Zur never became a top-tier superstar, she definitely be first-rate. The future music industry would definitely have a place for her. Liu Ping said sincerely, "Zur, you're amazing. When you grow up, you'll definitely become an excellent pianist and singer." Lee Zur smiled sweetly. "Thank you for your compliment, sister. I'll work even harder in the future." The live stream comments flooded in. "Zur is beautiful, smart, hard working, and so outstanding. I'm in love." Dude above, can you add punctuation? This is a pain to read. Asking, if my phone screen gets licked blurry, does that count as water damage? Little sister Zur, brother's vote is ready for you. Let's start voting. As for the one from live stream, room 1, we can just skip him. There's no comparison. Our Zur Is definitely first place. I'm obsessed with Zuer. I love her so much. After Li Zuer stepped off stage, Liu Ping held the microphone and smiled. Li Zuer just gave us such amazing singing and piano playing. Her voice was like lingering around the beams, a Chinese idiom describing beautiful music that stays in one's mind. Even now, I can still hear the rhythm and graceful melody of Yu Shui Lion in my ears. The audience cheered loudly. However, this is still a competition, a showdown. So next, let's welcome our third and final performer tonight, contestant number 1, Chen Yuan. After speaking, Liu Ping made a "please come out" gesture toward the curtain. Chapter 64. Damn, he's showing off again. Chen Yuan adjusted the vest he was wearing, then stepped onto the stage. The audience below had already started whispering among themselves. Is this the Investome? Yeah, he's incredible. He took over Alisted company in just a few days. But I haven't heard anything about his investments lately. I guess he's more into managing the company now. Damn it. I am 27 years old and only make 2,500 yuans a month. You, Ray, talking to me about investments? Do you think I care? Being good at investing is one thing, but today saw National Live Talent competition. It's about talent, not investing. How good can he be at talent shows? Honestly, there's no need to keep competing. Just announce Li Zuer as tonight's champion already. You don't know that. You must not have watched last week's edited episode carefully. Chen Yuan can dance hip-hop, and his moves are super flashy. Hip-hop? So what? It's still an itch thing. Li Zuer will definitely win in the end. As the crowd murmured, Chen Yuan had already reached the center of the stage. To be Hone Street, it was his first time on such a big stage. Facing hundreds of audience members, he couldn't help but feel a little nervous. Liu Ping, standing beside him, sized Chen Yuan up. He was young, but he had a decent look and demeanor, and his sense of style was clearly much better than Wang Mantong's and Li Zuer's. Little Chen Yuan? Chen Yuan hummed in response. From this life swap challenge, did you feel the same pressure your dad used to face in life? Chen Yuan hesitated. If he answered truthfully, I'll probably be called arrogant. If they'll still call me arrogant. It was a no-win situation. This is really tough. After a moment's pause, Chen Yuan decided to divert the topic. He slipped his hands into his pockets and said, "It's okay, but my dad's not the sharpest tool in the shed. I've had to worry about him a lot, like really worry my head off." Hearing this adult-like tone coming from his still young face was somehow amusing. Liu Ping's lips curved upward as she continued. So you Ray saying you didn't feel the pressure of life, but your dad Chen Donglai felt the pressure of studying? At the mention of this, Chen Yuan sighed. Yeah, I don't feel any pressure, but my dad, he shoots too slow, really too slow. Every day, the teacher calls me to complain about how clumsy he is in class. I'm so embarrassed. As a parent, I really don't know what to do. Donglai, you're such a disappointment. The audience couldn't hold back anymore. They burst into laughter. Is he performing a stand-up comedy routine today? He was talking like a real parent, as if he definitely IMMR'd himself in the role. This is hilarious. Liu Ping also struggled to hold back Asmal. This Chen Yuan is actually really funny. Meanwhile, Chen Donglai, who was listening carefully to his tutor explain a topic, suddenly sneezed for no reason. He rubbed his nose and thought, could someone be bad-mouthing me? Tutor Song said, stop zoning out, hurry up and tell me how to solve this problem. Chen Donglai awkwardly refocused, frowning as he stared at the equation. That looked like messy scribbles. Damn, this is way too hard. Liu Ping turned back to Chen Yuan. Then have you thought about what you'll do if your dad holds you back? Hold me back. Chen Yuan thought for a moment, then grabbed the microphone and said, if he fails his grade assessment, well, I've been planning to buy a 7 Wolves genuine leather belt lately. I'm gonna do all the things I wanted to do for years but never dared to. Pfft. The audience erupted into laughter. Chen Yuan pursed his lips. Whether you laugh or not, I'm still gonna buy that 7 Wolves belt. Liu Ping felt like she was about to lose it. If they kept talking like this, she might even laugh out loud on stage, and that would turn the reality show into a massive public embarrassment. Okay, Chen Yuan, let's stop talking about Chen Dong Lai and focus on you, Liu Ping said, forcing a serious expression to hold back her laughter. What talent, Thavrio? Chen Yuan glanced at the staff who were about to wheel the piano off stage. He called out to them, leave the piano there, I'll need it later. The audience froze. Does that mean he's gonna play the piano? What is this kid thinking? Li Zuer had just set the bar so high with her performance. How could he still want to play the piano? She sang while playing. It was so impressive. He really has no self-awareness, does he? Backstage, when Li Zuer saw on the live stream screen that Chen Yuan was going to play the piano, she immediately curled her lips, showing off in front of an expert. I've passed the level 6 piano exam. What about you? Sure, you're good at investing, and you're good at humiliating people, but piano takes talent. Zhang Qian, standing beside her, also shook her head with a smile and said to her daughter, a boy playing the piano right after you? That's just showing off in front of an expert. Liu Ping, standing next to Chen Yuan, was also shocked. Was NT he supposed to dance hip-hop? He's gonna play the piano instead? Chen Yuan, do you mean you're going to play the piano? Chen Yuan nodded firmly. Yeah, I'm gonna play the piano. I am the kind of person who likes to develop in multiple RAs. Are you sure? Li Zuer just played it, and she even sang You Shui Lion. It was really great. More than great, it was mind-blowing. Chen Yuan shrugged. Yeah, I heard it backstage. It was okay. Though okay is still a long way from great. The online live stream blew up instantly. Damn, this kid is way too arrogant. Showing off, he's really showing off. I can't stand it. How dare he look down on our Zuer? Zuer, don't worry, we'll support you forever. The on-site audience also whispered among themselves. Who does this Chen Yuan think he is? Bad-mouthing Li Zuer like that? young and reckless. I think he just has a thick skin. Liu Ping paused. There was no point in saying anything now. If he wanted to humiliate himself, so be it. Liu Ping stepped back a few paces and held out her hand. Let's enjoy a piano performance by Chen Yuan. Chen Yuan didn't waste any words. He adjusted his vest again, then walked straight to the piano. He sat up straight, held out his fingers, and pressed a few keys. After listening to the tone, he muttered softly, "The tone is a little off, but it'll have to do." The microphone nearby was turned off. His mutter was amplified, and everyone heard it. Same arrogance as before, but there's no denying it. He's showing off again. Chapter 65 Total Shock, a musical prodigy. The on-site audience immediately broke into murmurs. Wow, he's really showing off. With that tone, you'd think he's a piano virtuoso. The woman who specialized in piano crossed her legs, a cold smile tugging at her lips. As a professional, she hadn't detected any deviation in the piano's tone, but a 14-year-old boy was claiming there was one. Only someone who knows nothing about piano would spew out such nonsense. She thought, I'll just take this as a joke. The musician beside her also smiled. This kid talks so funnily, but he's a bit arrogant and ignorant. Chen Yuan pulled out his phone from his pocket and placed it on the piano stand. The screen displayed a sheet of music that looked like messy scribbles. To others, his expression turned extremely focused. He just glanced briefly at the sheet music, and his mind immediately began to simulate the performance. Speed, strength, and passion collided constantly in his thoughts. The audience below grew restless. Are you gonna play or not? Why is this taking so long? He probably doesn't know how. He can't even start. Damn it. I make hundreds of thousands per minute, and I'm just here watching you pose? The male musician's face showed a hint of annoyance. Masters need to build up emotion. But what do a kid need to build up for? Suddenly, Chen Yuan opened his eyes on stage. His hands moved rapidly across the keys, and the piano responded instantly. His flexible forearms, like small snakes in his hands, crossed and swayed continuously. His originally short fingers seemed to become extremely agile in an instant. Beautiful notes scattered and filled the air as Chen Yuan's fingers danced. These notes carried intense emotion, surging toward the audience like a flood. An invisible force, seemingly from the soul, struck the deepest part of everyone's shirt. The female piano professional's expression changed drastically in an instant. Laymen watched the show. Experts watched the skill. In just 5 short seconds, her face was filled with shock. Her rather pretty mouth hung open unconsciously, and she mumbled incoherently, Liebesfreude. It's Liebesfreude, literally, joy of love, a famous piano piece by Fritz Kreisler, referred to here as Ghostfire for its fast, fiery tempo, the most dauntingly difficult piece in history. Perfect to perfect. That's flawless double note technique. Her eyes lit up with enthusiasm, yet she slowly closed her eyes, quietly soaking in the rapid impact of the notes. For a pianist, This was a feast for the senses. The extremely sophisticated double note technique and the intense emotional impact had already enchanted her completely. The musician beside her also felt the soul-stirring impact, though he didn't know much about piano as a musician. He still had some ability to appreciate skill. The difficulty is extremely high, but what shocked him most was the soul-deep impact of the music. It was as if the piano melody was a blazing flame, constantly searing his heart. Even as a layman, he was captivated. He closed his eyes and quietly savored the wonderful rush. The noisy audience fell completely silent within seconds of the music starting. Countless notes, like thousands of sharp swords, pierced their souls and burned their hearts. Intense emotion wrapped around them, and everyone was involuntarily stunned. Beautiful, so beautiful. It was hard to imagine that such wonderful music existed in the world. Li Zuer was transfixed, not the infatuated kind. Well, maybe a little. She stared blankly at the screen, then turned and walked to the back of the curtain. Finally, unable to resist the urge, she peeked her head out from behind the curtain. Looking at that slender figure and swaying arms, she confirmed the beautiful music was indeed coming from him. Li Zuer didn't know if she was entranced by the music or the sight. She just stood there quietly. Zhang San, a random audience member, held his newly bought second-hand phone. Just stand there frozen. Let's see how you get out of this later. Before he finished speaking, the piano music started. This sounds so bad. He felt his confidence waver as he spoke. Though he said it was bad, his body acted honestly. He lay down on his bench, crossed his legs, held the phone to his ear, and involuntarily closed his eyes. The bullet comments in the live stream froze instantly. It was as if the entire world was filled with this wonderful music and nothing else. Even though the live stream sound quality was far less impactful than the on-site experience, netizens were still enchanted. It's so beautiful. Chen Yuan kept his eyes slightly closed, pouring all his emotion into the performance. Due to the extreme difficulty, the piece demanded a lot of physical strength. Sweat had already broken out on Chen Yuan's forehead. Even so, he didn't pause for a second, as if he had completely immersed himself in the music he was playing. It was until the final note faded away that the entire venue fell silent. The audience opened their eyes in a daze, instinctively looking at the elegant young man on stage, shocked, truly shocked. They never expected that such beautiful, heavenly music would come from that teenager Shan's. At first, someone took the lead in applauding. Then the others reacted. They began to clap frantically. Applauding seemed insufficient to express their love for the piano piece, so more and more people stood up. The female pianist also stood up, clapping her hands so hard she didn't even notice they were turning red. To be Hone Street, she had a rich musical background, but she had never heard such a beautiful rendition of Liebes Freud in her life, nor had she ever felt such a soul-deep thrill as she did today. But today, she felt it so deeply she was enchanted. As if in a dream, she felt her heart stir with excitement. There's actually such a prodigy in the world. So she didn't hold back her applause. The musician beside her also stood up, clapping vigorously. A thought flashed through his mind. Can we promote Chen Yuan as a new generation piano master? If he lets me be his manager, within 3 years, Chen Yuan's name will be known by everyone as a piano master. Li Zuer finally came to her senses. She had loved piano and singing since she was a child, and these two talents had become her pride. But she never imagined that a boy her age could take piano to such heights. It's so beautiful, she felt. She had never heard such wonderful music before. If he plays the piano and I sing, that would be even more wonderful. Li Zuer bit her lip, casting a complex glance at the young man's figure. Finally, she released her hand, which had grown sore from gripping the curtain, and turned backstage. Zheng Qian also regained her composure. When she saw her daughter, she comforted her. It's okay, he plays the piano well, but we still have singing. Singing will also earn us points. The first place is still yours.